tenured senior executives who collectively represent many hundreds of years of experience in IT and management were involved as advisors and selectors this year. The jury panel debated, deliberated, and decided on the award winner selection process. Using criteria defined by the next 100 jury, a short list of candidates was identified for interview. And every shortlisted candidate was independently interviewed by 2 jury members. And separately, recommendations were obtained from each candidate's designated preference. And then, scores and evaluations were assigned to all candidates and were input into a proprietary scoring model to determine the final list of award winners, which are the people who are here today. And to ensure that the next 100 awards are completely fair and unbiased, no member of the editorial team of ITNext is involved either in the selection or the elimination of award winners, nor are the editors and staff of ITNext magazine part of this jury panel. So, congratulations once again to all of you who are here today. You are truly the winners and a part of the privileged group of India's emerging IT leaders. I would now like to invite to the stage Mr. Vikas Gupta, publisher and director of 9th of India, to deliver the welcome address. Please welcome on stage Mr. Vikas Gupta.
Another round of applause for the grains of sand that became crystal. Yes, indeed, it is extremely satisfying for all of us here at 9.9 Media when we hold this event. This event is special not just for all of you, but also for us. And I will tell you why in a minute. But before that, you have to realize that by the time this evening ends, you will have been celebrated as the future CIOs of our country and the world. And with that, you would have joined the august company of your other senior IT leaders of the country who became next 100 winners in 2010, 11, and 12 before this. You are the 4th batch. And as you walk in through the corridor this evening, and as you will see during the course of this evening, many of them have gone ahead and become CIOs of some very large companies. And it is that actually gives us the greatest joy, that by doing this program, we can make that little difference, maybe contribute in a little way to the success and the career of the people who we support. And I want to say this through one actual story that happened to us last year. One of the next 100 winners last year, a lady by the name of Anita Kulkarni. She was a senior IT leader at Shapoorji Pallonji in Mumbai. We were doing the event in Hyderabad. She landed that morning. And as soon as she landed, she got news that her father had passed away. And so she called us up and said, can you, even though I have reached Hyderabad, but I really want to take the next flight back home. I hope you don't mind. I hope you can help us. You can help me with the travel arrangement. We said, of course. I mean, there is no question of minding. I mean, this is something that you have to go. So we proceeded to, change the travel arrangement, look for a flight that would take her back to Mumbai immediately. So we had made the arrangements, and we assumed that she would not be there for coming to the awards night that evening. After a few hours, we got a call from her. She was still in Hyderabad. And she said that, can I actually be a part of this awards function? I'm not going back to Bombay. So we thought that's very strange. She told us since now that her father's passed away, and now she's saying she wants to stay. So we were a little perplexed. But we said, of course, if you have changed your mind, no issue. We will change the tickets yet again, and you're more than welcome to join us. So she came for the awards night, and she was part of this function as all of you are today. It's after the function that she told us what had happened. She said that when she told her husband and her brother it was like that, told her not to come back. And the reason they said that she should not come back is because it was her father's wish that she come for this award and he did. Every time I tell the story, I get emotional. And therefore, they felt that the greatest tribute she could give to her dead father was to actually take her to a funeral. So they delayed the funeral. They waited for her to get the trophy to go back. And when we heard that story, it just completely moved us up. Because more than the sponsorship we get from our sponsors, more than anything else that we benefit out of this, the fact that we made a little difference in someone's life is our greatest joy. So today is about you, so I won't bore you with a long speech. I just wanted to share this story. There are lots of people who help us to get us here. Like I said, our sponsors, without whom none of this would be possible, because they really underwrite the whole process. And of course, our completely unselfish, hardworking, charitable jury, who are the only people in the entire value chain who do this as a service to the community that they have grown up in. All of you have participated in this event because at the end of the day you benefit from it. As next 100 winners, hopefully it will give you a good career and a boost. Our sponsors also benefit from it, from the opportunities they get to engage with all of you. We also benefit from it, both emotionally, as having contributed, and of course financially. But it's only our jury that contributes to this entire process in a completely selfless manner. So I would really like to give a round of applause for them as well. And with that, I'll hand it over back to Giri to start the rest of the evening series. Congratulations once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikas, for highlighting the number of people who work behind the scenes to make next 100 possible. And we really like to thank all of them. We will see a lot of them on stage later this evening. But I would like to start off this evening by introducing someone who describes himself as being like a grain of sand. But today he's achieved a lot more. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Alok Kumar, Managing Director of Sears IT and Management Services. So Sears IT and Management Services is a fully owned subsidiary of Sears Holding Corporation USA. And Alok was responsible for starting the company in India, which today has more than 1,000 technology and management professionals. The India unit, which he Sears in the areas of e-commerce, mobile technology, retail technology, and it maintains all these technologies round the clock. Prior to Sears, Alok was Senior Vice President and Head of IT Program Management of Reliance Industries. He has also been the CIO of Tata Tire Services Maharashtra and the CIO of UT Limited. Under Alok's leadership, Sears India has exceeded many benchmarks and standards and has generated an ROI of more than 50 times in the last 3 years. In addition, his team in India has developed new products and solutions for an external venture called MeterScale. These products enable quick and easy migration from legacy platforms at lower costs. In fact, his team has filed several patents and is now working with non-Sears clients to earn revenue. Alok is a published author with 2 books to his credit. He enjoys playing golf and traveling to new places when he has the time. So please welcome on stage Mr. Alok Kumar.
Good evening, and thank you very much for providing this opportunity to me to talk to you. The only difference between you and me here is that probably I have walked a few more steps and you are traversing on that path. became one of the few lucky people who became CEO from CIO. So 5 years back, there was an article that came up, few who became CEOs from CIO. I was shown there. It was a proud moment for me. And there was no IT Next award that time. Probably I would have been very happy to get awarded on those occasions too. But today, I'm here basically to share my experiences and probably give you some insight that how probably you can also walk in the same path and become a CEO. So, just a simple question: how many of you here, both the jury members and those award winners, really want to be CEO one day? That's very good, because the role of the CIO is not changing. That's very, very evident. CIO is no more being a CIO. They will be running their own business. They will be the CEOs of tomorrow by default. So if you do not start thinking like a CEO, working like a CEO, probably you will not be even a CIO. So that's the experience which I wanted to share, and take you through a lot of my journey, how I reached there, what I did, my failures, my success, and some of the experiments which I did, which probably can be taken as one of the examples by some of you. But certainly I do not want to unnecessarily boast on some great things that it's nothing like that. Probably I was very lucky to get the right opportunities. The first question which you will have to ask all the time: how much value are you bringing to whosoever is paying? Your company, your organization, your customers. Now, value is the most misunderstood word. Probably the same way the strategy is misunderstood in most of the management colleges. When I went to one of the premier colleges, to pick up some of the students, the strategy word was being dropped right from the peon at the gate to the professor. Okay, without actually knowing the meaning of strategy. And so is the right way, the value. The value is everybody talks, I am going to show value. I worked very hard to find what is the value. Came with a mathematical formula. Very easy. Value is benefits divided by cost. Right. So when you get your increment every year, you become more expensive. Your cost goes up. And if your benefits are not increasing by default, you become less valuable than what you were in the previous year. I don't know whether you all will agree with me or not, but that's a very, very candid input. Now, it's just not about you. The organization, the ecosystem, everywhere around the world, people are trying the level best to increase the value by increasing the benefit, and desperately trying to reduce the cost. If you see around you, inventions, discoveries, automation is all about bringing down the cost, right? So the cost reduction in the United States started by outsourcing. It is very simple. I will use one man from $100 per hour to one man $10 per hour. It is 10 times cheaper. Now the days are slowly going away. We also want very good salaries, right? Who will not be wanting 7-digit salary here? They want crore, 2 crore fancy salary. Obviously, we all wish to have that, good cars. But ultimately it comes down to the same thing. What is the value? What is the benefit we have? You see, and you have to be very cautious about it. Even if you keep showing your value in terms of I'm working harder, few more hours, or maybe I have done some extra implementation, your value might get eliminated by somebody else working outside. They can immediately prove it. You are not needed. So this is where the role of the CIO and the CIO next start coming in, to be visualizers, not to be operational, because your operational life is slowly getting to an end, and by the virtue of your experience, by the virtue of your knowledge, you start becoming strategists, and that is the true meaning of value for you. Because the strategy, what you do, is about bringing value to your organization. So, my own experience all the time, I was, I'm one of the very unique person because I was never trained in IT ever. I'm not an IT engineer. I'm basically a mechanical engineer. And my first computer in my life I saw in my first company. The The first command of CD and DIR was when I was 1 year old in my house. And that's how I learned IT. The only difference was, IT is not about coding. IT is not about network. It's not about some boxes. IT is actually the benefit what you give it to the end customer through automation by the means of doing things better. This is where you bring your value. And this is where probably I think, because my 4 years, 5 years in hardcore business, when I say business, I was working in a factory. My first job was with today's capital India, which was Hindustan Motors. And I was a quality control engineer. My job was to basically go under the vehicles, see the oil is leaking, if the nut is tight, and if the drawings are, exactly to the dimensions. My first experiment started because my boss always used to tell me, go and check this component. So every time I realized that every quality engineer is taking a blank sheet, writing all the dimensions there, and then going, rechecking and putting OK note on it. So typically they ended up spending half the time in writing sheets again and again. So that was a challenge. I said, I refuse. I will not do that. It's a risk activity. And that's where I started my first language, the B-base. And most of you know B-base, the old language, most darling language of most of the world is sitting here. And then graduated to Clipper and C and whatnot. Created the first ERP, total end-to-end ERP with my parents. A total home learning. The only difference was, I was a business analyst, I was a business. I was the coder, quality tester, implementer, and the consumer. So that was that time for it. But then very soon, by the virtue of having success, a lot of people started coming, asking, giving more opportunity. And this is where I take a step back and then see why most of the people are not so successful. They aspire to be CEOs, they aspire to be CIOs, but somewhere down the line, things doesn't work out. So in my experience, it came out, there are basically 3 elements which come out for you to show your value. One is your right opportunity. If you do not have the right opportunity, obviously you can't show the value. And that's where everyone is right now here. This is a forum where you figure out who is having better opportunity, what I can do, what I cannot do. The second is very, very important, the right mentor. Mentoring is, I would say, we all have one life, we all have one career. Time passes by. If we do not get the right direction, it is very, very obvious that we miss the bus. So mentoring becomes one of the key elements of success. In olden time, Gurukul, the gurus used to spend their entire 25 years along with 20 years along with the student, giving them everything. They wanted them to copy them. They wanted to basically share each and every experience of theirs. But today it is not possible. Today you end up having a boss for a few years, right? He designs or you design or everything changes. But then, in the given circumstances and constraints, your best mentor is your boss. So I think, if you have a good boss, you are lucky. If you do not have a good boss, look for another job. Because boss is not a choice. And the third one is, like you. Now, you are a very important person. The most important person is you. But unfortunately, most of us, by the virtue of our social standing, the way we are, we think about ourselves in the end, or maybe in a different way. I had written a couple of books, I keep writing papers. My first book was on very unusual subject for handwriting analysis. Because all the time, things intrigue me to figure out how human psychology is. Why do people behave the way they behave? Why can't they change? Why can't they take challenges more than what they do? And based on that, I wrote a book called Handwriting Speaks. Now this is about basically how to read handwriting. But beyond that, I kept on doing a lot of research apart from my work. The purpose of research was not to satisfy my internal ego, but to make sure that how I implement it in my day-to-day work and get best out of it. I came up with 6 clear reasons of making myself right. And the first and the most important thing is the happiness. Now, I do a lot of lecture. I go to a lot of colleges. I speak to students, and I ask them, like I ask many of them, how many you want to become CEO? And most of you raise your hand. When I ask a student, what do you want to be in your life? most of them, they're like, I want to be some CEO, I want to be a businessman, I want to be an architect, I want to be a banker. They keep on telling you. But they do not realize that they are identifying themselves with 8 hours and 5 days a week of their life as themselves. And this is the biggest fallacy what most of us have. I realized it much later in life. After losing that actually the 8 hours, 5 days a week and 30 years or 25 years of a lifetime actually constitute 10 to 12% of our whole life. And we focus on that 10 to 12%, leaving the remaining 90%. And that's the reason for most of the unhappiness. And if you're unhappy, obviously you can't achieve your goals. You can't become CIO or CEO or anything. You can't even become you yourself. And that's the most important. And that's something which is, I wanted to tell you, the 6 elements of actually being happy. And I'm trying it myself. I have done it now. I have seen success. Most important is passion. You want to be CIO or CEO. If you do not have passion to do something of that kind, which will take you to that level, forget about the growth. Because eventually, you become redundant. You will be eliminated by some other invention discovery happening at other corner of the world. You have to develop it. And passion doesn't come overnight. You can't dream it. You have to work for it. And passion gets developed when you actually keep trying. You get dejected, you get upset, but eventually when you start having success, start finding interest out of it, and you become passionate. And that passion takes you to the next level of glory. That's where people start identifying you as a different person. The second, very, very important, is communication. People are passionate, they do a lot of good things, but they do not communicate. It's a very famous saying. Many things in life are lost for a want of asking. You end up not asking, you end up not telling, you end up keeping it to yourself, you do not communicate. You lose many things. Most of the folks here would be feeling very, very jittery when you go to your boss asking for your annual increment or annual appraisal. And that's the only time when you brush up with your communication skill. When I say communication is not about English language, it's about an ability to express yourself so that the other person knows what you want, what you really want to convey. By the virtue of our society, we are been taught, do not ask questions. That's where the first list of communication problems start. When I was a kid, every time I asked my father a question, Papa, what is it? Keep quiet. Papa, what is it? Shut up. After some time, I thought my name is shut up. Okay. That's where the society is all about. It's so different today. But remember, most of us are not today. We have been born and brought up in different societies. We have been taught different. Come out of that, start asking questions, start being more communicative. Third very important element which I discovered was prioritizing. I think I did not explain. Most of the people who are here, they understand that's why you are here. You prioritize your things, you are successful. You come on this platform because you have been able to do things differently. But remember, at times we put our profession ahead of our personal goals, and that overshadows our professional goals and eventually make us unsuccessful. Fourth is health. Again, many of us would really love, smoking, drinking, night outs, enjoying ourselves, good. But you see, remember, we have one body. After the age of 40, 45, it has become a kind of a fashion statement. I was in a CEO summit in Delhi, and the only discussion which was happening was, hey, do you have a blood pressure? My sugar is at this level, And people were talking with pride because having sugar and blood pressure is something which shows that you have taken that stress and you got it. So it becomes a status symbol. You without blood pressure, sugar, how you can become a CEO? Okay? And that's something which I say, fine, because most of them they either I have blood pressure, or I have sugar, or I have something else. The thing is, health is wealth, that is the old saying. Most of us ignore it by the virtue of telling you have too much work pressure, or whatever. Do not ignore it, because forget your future. You will have no future for your career to CIO or CEO. The fifth one is what I think is very important. I realized it much later. I am a CEO, and I have to handle multiple companies. I handle 3 different companies, 3 different geographies. And most important thing is that I have to follow ethics. Initially it was forced upon me. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. But eventually I realized, my God, Your bad reputation reaches much before you yourself reach anywhere. You know, you do anything wrong, you go for an interview. The HR manager would know about your bad deeds first, even before you open your mouth. So remember, make sure whatever you do it right. Whatever you do for right. Do not ever try to compromise on the right way. And that is the only thing which will actually make you reach to the topmost level. Believe me, when I was appointed as the head of the operations for years, I became managing director months later. There was an offer given to me by one person, 25 lakh. Please take it, it's yours. I came back to manager, it doesn't belong to me. I can't take it. Oh no, everybody takes it. It's nothing, I'll give you in cash, nobody ever gets to know. I said, no, it doesn't belong to me. I can't take it. But if you are really so much interested in giving me this benefit, why do not you give this benefit back to my company? And that guy was so obliged, he did that. He did that much more. Until today, we have a great relationship. Now suddenly what happened? There was another background check which was happening. And my parent organization ended up putting a lawyer to find out how clean I am. Because in America, most of the people are so, question marking with respect to the ethics of it. They said, no, we will not make you MD of a company. They wanted not to give me signing authority. But then those guys came back. And this person who offered me openly told, but I offered him 25 lakh. He didn't take, he did this, and in turn I gave the benefit back to the company. The very next week I was appointed as MD of the company with unlimited signing authority. So imagine, and even today, every time there is a growth, they put me in the lead. They put me in the front. And this is where the difference is. Ethics is not about your being technically inside. At least you can speak peacefully. And finally, most important, be lucky. Now luck is a very big thing. Most of you would feel luck is divine, right? How many of you really feel luck is God given? I think very few. That's good, because luck is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you feel lucky, you are lucky. If you feel unlucky, you will be unlucky. Now, what is luck? Creating a network, what you are doing right here. Create a network of people who can help you when you are in need, who can guide you, who can mentor you, who can take you to the next level. You become lucky. Think positive. When you talk positive, think positive. You attract people. When you talk negative, people do not want to come and sit beside you. You cry, people will run away. You laugh, you will bring people along. Know how to handle negativity. Because God has given equal good and bad to everyone, right from the most richest to the poorest. Only thing is, how do we handle that negativity in life? Learn how to do it. If you can manage it perfectly well, you are going to be lucky. And the most important thing, believe in your hunch. What's your hunch? Hunch is nothing but the values you and your parents have put in you since your childhood. That's the hunch. I give one very, very nice example. A toddler, a snake is put in front of a toddler, 6 months old. What is he going to do? Might end up playing with the snake. Because the toddler doesn't know what snake is. And if I put a snake right in front of you today, everybody will jump. Without even thinking. Because all our life we have been taught, snake is dangerous, snake is poison. And that's what is hunch. You get back a feeling, I am doing right, I am doing wrong. Believe in it. Because that are the values which come back to you telling what's right and wrong. Because if you are going to do all of that, I assure you, you will rise much faster than what you can. That's the right way to grow up, that's the right way to become a CIO, CEO, MD or anything. So I explain about my own experience. How did I reach here? Quickly, going to a couple of things when I joined my company, first company, Caterpillar today, it was a mechanical engineer. Fought my way out, learned myself. I didn't have any formal education in IT, but I learned it myself. Second job, I got an opportunity because my boss told, you have a great opportunity there because there is no computerization. There is not a single computer in the whole company. If you go, you can do something big. Now, the natural and the common wisdom says, hey, why you are getting to something which is actually way down? You can't learn it. That was in Kolkata. The name of the company was UD Limited. It's a very interesting experience. I took the job and I went there. It was like shabby company. Chairs and tables were also shaking. And the very second day, a union leader along with 5 people came inside my room, put a pistol on my head and said in Bangla, 24 घंटा मुझे यहाँ के चले जाओ आता अपना माता गोली दे दो means within 24 hours leave the city or else I'll kill you. Right. That was that first experience. I imagine coming from a good company like Caterpillar, landing up somewhere in Kolkata, not knowing the language. Somebody comes and kill you, what are you going to do? You say, my God, it's the worst decision in my life. But then, either you face it or you get out. My choice was to face it because I had no plan B. And I was a poor guy, there is a salary. Okay. I thought if I leave this job, I don't know where next month my family will feed from. So that is a very basic problem. I don't know. I take the bull by the horn. I went back to the same guy, CIO&Leader, and asked him, tell me why you're so worried, why you want to kill me. He said, we are going to take away our jobs once you come to try it. After that, I realized what was there. Sat with them, and believe me, that was the first company in West Bengal where the union sat with me to create a ERP system and implement it. That became one of the unique case studies of industrial management even today. Both systems keep running still. Everything still is the same. They're not changed after that. And I went there 2 years back. Same leaders still embracing it. They say it is a unique experience. We not only loved it, we enjoyed it. We created something. So that is where I wanted to create a value. It happened. I had no choice. I took the bait. Did something different. Moved on. Joined Reliance. I was looking to get real good mentors. My boss, Ashish Chauhan, or most of you will know, is now MD of Honest Stock Exchange, PSC. He mentored me. The same way you saw here, tempered me. Made me work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. And once in a while I used to literally curse him. And I used to tell my wife, I think the last thing in my life is just that. I don't want to even see his face when I get out of this company. But today, he is one of the most respected also. Because what I am, because of his mentorship. And that's where I am asking all of you, to find a mentor like that. Somebody who will drive you to the wall, make you feel you are helpless, but then to force you to find a way out. And that's the way to move up to the CEO level. So dear friends, this is what I want to tell you. Finally, now here, already my company here is 1,000 people. Cheers also when I joined. It was one of the same experience. I had to fight out every day. I had to fight big names like Infosys, Wipro. But with the help of people, we created something very big. Today we are 1,000+ company. A lot of awards and rewards we have won. We have started our own outside company. And I think we have miles to go before we call it quits. And I look forward for you all to do something like this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alok. I think that was a wonderful, inspirational talk, and you're really an example for everybody in this room on what can be achieved through sheer determination and sheer excellence. So congratulations, thank you for being here this evening. May I request Mr. Vikas Gupta, please felicitate Mr. Alok Kumar for being here, taking the time to talk to us and give us his insight. Thank you so much. So I think maybe I should repeat Alok Kumar's question. How many people still want to become CEOs after hearing all this stuff that we are doing? Okay, there's still lots of people. You are very successful as a speaker, sir. You've inspired a lot of them. So continuing with this inspirational talk, I would like to invite our next speaker for this evening is Mr. Nitin Patari from Vodafone. May I request Mr. Nitin Patari, please come on the stage and say a few words.
Good evening. I must say it's an honor to be here today along with the future CIOs and yourselves who will shape up the future of IT businesses. And in this age of globalization, where information societies and knowledge workers are pretty much shaping up the future of nations, I am reminded of a story which most of us read in our childhood. story is about city of Troy. And it was in this story where very much innovation triumphed over power and size. So if you remember, this Battle of Troy was waged against the city of Troy by Greeks, and they lacked the siege for about 10 years, could not break through the walls, and that's when one night what they did was constructed a huge wooden horse called Trojan horse and hid a select force of men inside. And in the night, these guys pretended to sail away, and that's when the residents of Troy opened their gates, let the horse in, and then in the middle of night, the small select force of Greeks, they came out of the horse, opened the city gate for the rest of the army, for the rest of the army, and the rest is history. So 10 years of siege couldn't do what a small innovation called building a wooden horse did. And now let's relate the story to our lifetime. In our lifetime, over the past 15 years, we witnessed two paradigms that have very much shaped up the humanity, that very much shaped up the face of humanity. The first paradigm is the Internet of Systems, or Internet as we all know. And the second one is that of Internet of People. And as we talk, there is this third paradigm that's very much taking shape, called Internet of Things, meaning the everyday objects would evolve into technology-infused devices with augmented functionality. So effectively, this would mean that humans are not just using keystrokes, not just using voice to talk to devices, rather also using a number of sensors and a number of other things. So for the businesses, which means for all of us here, this revolution is very much akin to the early days of internet. We should leverage this phenomenon as an innovation opportunity to shape up our customer experience much more than what we have used Internet of Systems and Internet of People. And we could very much use this to become an integral part of our customers' life cycle and lifestyle. The ones who will succeed will emerge as winners as it is their peers, very much similar to the early days of Internet, where there were a few companies who use this phenomenon, the phenomenon of Internet, to get into lives of their customers and involve it. Now, unlike previous successes, the success in the age of Internet of Things will require that we enable our organizations with faster and secure knowledge flow and allow for quick, informative, and democratic decision making. And while it is important for us to enable knowledge flow, it is also important for us to equally transform the organizational knowledge back into innovation. And the two are often confused as one is saying that okay, I'm able to flow knowledge is equal to I'm also able to infuse innovation into the organization, but the two are not same. And while most of us here we have been taught since our childhood that innovation is wealth, that knowledge is wealth, and it's very much true. But then we as somebody who has an opportunity to shape the future of business, we should strive one step further, and we should strive to innovate. And that's where, while the knowledge brings wealth, innovations bring us closer to our customer, wins us customer, and create happiness. And to reinforce this power of innovation, I would like to quote from Peter Drucker. Peter is widely regarded as one of the most influential thinkers of our times. And in 1959, he was the person who coined the term knowledge worker. So he was a person who coined the term knowledge worker, and this was much before the adoption of IT. And in his words, and I quote him here, knowledge is the source of all wealth. Applied to the task we already know, it becomes productivity. But applied to the tasks that are new, it becomes innovation. So what we are striving as the next 100 CIOs, what we should really strive for is innovation. So while enabling the knowledge flow is obviously a hiding factor, but yes, it's innovation that we should strive for. And in some of the events earlier, I've been asked what could be the nirvana mantra for a future-enabled innovative enterprise. And that's where I would like to kind of have you close your eyes and repeat after me. So if I could have everyone close your eyes and repeat after me. So the nirvana mantra is, so can I can see your eyes. I can see everybody's eyes here, so please do close your eyes. Okay, so the nirvana Devana mantra is repeat after me. Como, coma, ho. I repeat como, coma, ho. So what it stands for is the future is consumerized, mobilized, collaborative, machine and hosted. So if we use these principles in our respective businesses, we will for certain be able to create future-enabled innovation enterprise. That's all I have to say. I compliment all the winners tonight, and I wish everyone innovative 2014. Thank you.
So thank you, Nitin, for that very inspirational speech and asking people to be innovative. So I request Mr. Nitin Bhandari to present the next 100 awards to the first batch of winners. So may I request you, please. Thank you. Okay. So we will begin with our award winners. And the first person to receive the award is Mr. Ajay Ajmera. Mr. Ajay Ajmera. Our next winner is Mr. Raja Anand. Our next winner is Mr. Sanjay Bandia. Our next winner is Mr. Arun Pane. Our next winner is Mr. Kiran Bensikal. Our next winner is Mr. Amit Bhaskar. Next winner in this batch is Mr. Subrajyoti Bose. And our final winner in this batch is Mr. Sanjay Singh. I would also like to announce that we have one special award which is being sponsored by Vodafone. This is the Vodafone Enterprise Voice and Data Solutions Award. And this award is being presented to Mr. Amandeep Gunjan. Thank you, Mr. Bhandari. Thank you for doing the honors. We now have our second batch of next 100 award winners, and these awards will be presented by Mr. Nikhil Dudwakar and Mr. Neeraj Trivedi of Juniper. May I request Mr. Nikhil Dudwakar and Mr. Neeraj Trivedi of Juniper to please come on stage. Our first award winner in the second batch is Mr. Ramesh Bashya. Ramesh Bashya, please come. Our second winner is Mr. Sailesh Hirangi. Sailesh Hirangi. Our third award winner in this batch is Mr. Abhijit Barsel. Our fourth award winner in this batch is Mr. Sandeep Jagingar. Our next award winner in this batch is Mr. Anirban Chakrabarti. Mr. Anirban. Our next award winner is Mr. Pradeep Chankarajan. Mr. Pradeep Chankarajan. Mr. Sameer Chaudhary. Sameer Chaudhary. Final award winner in this batch, Mr. Sanjay Chopra. Mr. Sanjay Chopra. Next was awarded and for information of everybody that this is being live webcast, so please ask your friends and family to watch it.
Giri, it's itnext.in.
At itnext.in, www.itnext.in. This is being live webcast. Please SMS, message, and WhatsApp.
वाली क्या है?
and relatives. I request Nikhil and Neeraj to just stay on. We also have a special award which is being sponsored by Juniper. This is the Juniper Network Innovation Award and it's being presented to Mr. Anurag Sonpali. Mr. Anurag Sonpali, please come up. So, thank you, Nikhil, and thank you, Neeraj. I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Apurva Datta of Wipro to give a short talk. Mr. Apurva Datta of Wipro.
Good evening to you all. Thanks Media 9.9 for inviting us on this particular occasion. Thanks Alok for the inspiring speech and it was really a nice one. We are celebrating this in the month of December and I was asking Vikas that whether we celebrate this every month of December or not because as we move along and this next generation CIOs, we are in the end of year 2013 and going to embrace 2040 in a couple of days or so. If you know, the January month has been coined by the Roman god Janus, and this Janus is usually depicted by two heads and one head facing at the back for the year gone by and other head which was facing in the front for the year going to be coming ahead. Today's CIOs, I think, best depicts the Janus as a god because on one hand they have to take care of their IT, on the other hand they have to take care of their business CEOs and the leadership. And just to echo Alok's thought, if you see today's up to some point in time, probably this event would not be a CIO in next event, it would be probably CIO/CEO next event. Just to give you some perspective of how the changing world is happening, as per the recent Gartner survey, if you see, they are talking about the technology investment by the CIOs on the IT sector, which is primarily on the data center space, is going to be more or less flat or it will come down. Whereas on the business facing side, it is significantly going to be going up and up by 10 to 20% in the years to come. CIOs will have to take care of the collaborative decision cycle and not the individual IT decisions. It cannot happen in isolation. They have to take care along with the CFOs and the CEOs based on a strategic discussions and the outcome of the business can grow. And the third tenet, which is going to change significantly, is that they have to continuously evolve themselves from run the business model to the change and grow the business model. Typically, if you see in today's scenario, CIOs spend 60 to 70% of their time on the run the business model, which has to significantly change going forward in the years to come. And they have to continuously think how they can drive the business from a top-down approach. Any decisions which is going to come up on the IT spends of the organization has to be driven from a business angle. And that's the key for the next generation CIOs to think and act upon it. On the other hand, if you see, they have to be extremely technology savvy, and probably they have to change themselves. And obviously, again, going to Alok's thought, they have to change themselves faster than probably they can think of. Because in and around them, the technology is going to change fast and rapidly, probably much faster than what has happened in the last decade, which are in the next decades to come. And probably with the advent of cloud, social media, analytics, big data, mobility, and what not to come in the years to come, they have to change and adopt these technologies very fast. So with this, what it means to the next generation CIOs, they have to be acting faster than ever before, they have to be agile, they have to be even adaptive. And with all this, I am going to welcome the winners on the stage, and obviously I wish all the best for the next generation CIOs to come. Thank you all, and enjoy.
Thank you, Apurva. May I request you to present the awards to the next batch of winners. Thank you. And so our next batch of winners, I start with Ms. Susma Chopra. Ms. Susma Chopra. Mr. Michael D'Souza. Mr. Krishnakant Gaidonde. Mr. Ritesh Garg. Mr. Gaurav Doshi. Mr. Ram Kolapuri. Ram Kolapuri. being presented to Mr. Ankur Goyal. Mr. Ankur Goyal. I now request Mr. Viral Thakkar of NextGen to please come to the stage and deliver a short talk. Mr. Viral Thakkar of NextGen.
वही पे अलग लावली बैकग्राउंड आता अलग लावली
Good evening, everyone. Second time I get a chance to speak to you. We are too young a company to actually reach on
चेंज करे
leadership,
ऑडिट पे मिलेगा
but I can share my experience with you. Feels good to see NextGen logo with all stalwarts of the industry. 1.5 years back when we started, maybe 2 years back, when we started thinking about this, we never thought that we will be where we are. Though there's a long, long way to go. But yeah, we think we are on track. So what we started with was 7 of us got together and thought that we've been building data centers for so many people, why don't we try and do something for ourselves? And we moved on and started a company called NextGen Data Centers Cloud Technologies Private Limited. No doubt it was a big challenge because whatever you earn all your life, you put into a company and then you try to see to it that you are able to do that magic again which you were doing when you were working with somebody. Takes time, but you need patience. Here I would like to mention about my managing director. In fact, he was supposed to be here. Unfortunately, due to some reason, he's not around. Mr. A.S. Rajgopal. He's the leader that our company looks up to. Second employee of Dell India, running Microsoft marketing for 39 countries and instrumental in building data centers for Reliance Communications, the DAKC that we refer to. He has been a major part of that. So that's where we started with the goal and thought that why not try and do something, repeat history, which we were repeating again and again when we were working somewhere. I must tell you, in 3 months, the company had started and we were into the market trying to meet our old customer friends. I must thank those customers who looked up to us and supported us. We compete with big industry players like IBM, HP, Wipro, and many others who are in the data center field. And in 3 months of our starting of business, we won an order which was Prime Focus Technologies. So that's where we thought, yeah, we were on the right track and moving towards the right goal. Any business to run needs good amount of investment, but we had a thought process that for a year or so we should not be looking at getting somebody in and try to create value for us, which we could sustain. So that's what we tried and did. And 1.5 years down the line today, Intel Capital has invested in NextGen. They had multiple options, obviously, with such a big industry available and so many players around. I remember the words what we heard from them is, when you talk about technology, you talk about efficiency. You're not trying to position the real estate that you have. You bought 10 acres of land in Bangalore. We started creating a data center. But we never tried to position that 10 acre of land or the real estate as our value. So that's the feedback we got from our investors saying that technology, efficiency, and what the customer wants is what you understand. So at NextGen, we follow a mantra which says, make a change, let's take a chance, and we would like to break away. So that's a small video that we have created for our teams, which I would like to share with you today. Maybe if somebody from the AV can help me. So I leave you with that video.
When it's all time, I wonder when
So we look up to them. We try to see if we can get somebody from India also being seen. So we keep talking about competition, keep hearing about AWS. So we as NextGen are looking towards creating an Indian AWS that is NextGen in India. We look forward to your support at any point of time. Wherever in your field you think we can be of any help, you can let us know. I think we would like to invite the winners on the stage, and thank you so much for your time.
So thank you, Vinod. I think it couldn't be a more apt, phrase that you have. Destiny is not what you get, but what you make of it. And today, all of you, we hope will make of the next 100 award something. So I'd like to invite our next batch of winners on stage, starting with Mr. Paresh Goswami. Paresh Goswami. Our next winner is Mr. Shiv Kumar Gowda. Mr. Shiv Kumar Gowda. Our next winner is Mr. Arun Goyal. Mr. Arun Goyal. Now I'd like to invite on stage Mr. Jayant Gupta. Mr. Jayant Gupta. I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Satinder Gupta. Mr. Satinder Gupta. Our next winner is Mr. Krishnananda David. And I'd like to invite on stage Mr. G. Venkateshwar. Please welcome on stage Mr. Gaurav Jaggi. I request all winners to please come to the front and take a photograph. We also have a special award which is being sponsored by Emerson and NextGen. This is the Data Center Solutions Award, which is being presented to Mr. Tarun Sharma. Mr. Tarun Sharma. Thank you, Mr. Kulkarni, Mr. Thakkar. So, we've heard a lot about our past ex-100 winners who have gone on to, do better in their careers and their professions. So, we'd just like to show you some of these people.
पूरा अच्छा हो गया तो टाइट कर दो
सब कुछ भी करेंगे। Thank you. So I think it's really fantastic what these people have managed to achieve, and we wish them all the best, and we look forward to many of you also going on to be here next year. So with that, I'd now like to invite on stage Mr. A.L. Jagannath, Director, VMware India, to deliver a short talk. Please welcome on stage Mr. A.L. Jagannath, VMware India.
Good evening. First, I think congrats to all the 100 winners in this room. I think this can't be more august audience than all the future CIOs in one place, in one room. I think the journey for you has begun. So I think all the awards here don't end here. I think the journey has just begun. So we at VMware are extremely proud and honored to be part of this journey. When Vikas mentioned about this particular event some time back, I think the vision and leadership that he's had, I think has got this event to this stage. I think it's by far one of the most significant events recognizing the future CIOs. We typically have a lot of events for present CIOs, but I think this is a way to recognize and reward future CIOs. So we at VMware are extremely proud to be part of this. So about leadership, I think speakers ahead of me have shown some nice films and have really spoken about the days of what leaders could be. But in my last 20 years of work experience, I have been a leader somewhere and I've seen a lot of leaders in action. I could possibly summarize 3 key tenets of what a key leader can be. Put a 3C model, like all the CIOs like to believe, 3C model, which is creativity, courage, and conviction. Okay, that would be summarized in 3 days. The first one I would say is courage. Be courageous in asking questions, be courageous in leading people, be courageous in standing for the right things, be courageous in experimenting new things, something all of us tend to do stuff again and again, which is probably the convention, but be courageous to ask the right things and right questions and do the new stuff. That's what will really take you ahead. The second C was creativity. If you're not creative, I think you'll be one more CIO in the line, doing the same stuff. So try and do new things. Each of the people who have shown a nice film before us, who have really done it big, have done absolutely different things. And these challenge the convention, did new things, be creative, and that's where you can be something like force taken. And the third one, conviction. I think if you don't have conviction within yourself, you can never be a leader. You lead from the front, lead from ask the command respect from the people. I think that's what really makes a difference between you and the next person. So again, I'd like to congratulate all of you, and I would like each of you to actually applaud for yourself, because I gather you'll be part of this process of almost 2,000 people being part of this journey, and 100 people have listened finally. I think it it really, maybe you should pat yourself and pat the next person sitting next to you. I think you really deserve that. Thank you very much, and look forward to the evening and meeting you some food. Thank you. Before that, as all marketing guys do, we also have nice snow. Thank you.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out, you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'll be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is over-glorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
Staged, completely recorded off the cuff by somebody, so it's what happens when people join in with the leader and thank you very much.
So I think that was a wonderful movie on the illustration of how to be a first follower. Now let's see how many people have the courage to be first followers. Thank you, Mr. Jagannath. I think it's a wonderful movie on leadership, very unique. So I'd like to introduce our next batch of winners, starting with Mr. Vikas Jain. I request Mr. Vikas Jain, please come on stage. Our next winner is Mr. Sameer Jain. Mr. Sameer Jain. And I'd like to call on stage Mr. Shijo Joseph. Mr. Shijo Joseph.
Freaking little guns, I gotcha.
Mr. Sriram Joshi. Mr. Sriram Joshi. Please welcome on stage Mr. K. Tirumala Rao. K. Tirumala Rao. Our next winner is Mr. Ashok Kannan. Mr. Ashok Kannan. Mr. Vineet Kapoor. Mr. Vineet Kapoor. The final winner for this batch, Mr. Rajesh Kare. Mr. Rajesh Kare. I'd just like to announce that we also have a special award sponsored by VMware for virtualization and cloud computing. And this award goes to Mr. Paresh Haria. Paresh is not here, so we will have the award sent. And thank you, Mr. Jagannath. Everybody's feeling very tired. Now you're not clapping. Or people who got awards no longer feel the need to clap. I'd like to invite on stage Mr. P.A. Krishnan from Control S to deliver a short talk on leadership. Please welcome on stage Mr. P.A. Krishnan of Control S.
Thank you. Let me congratulate 9.9 Media for this wonderful event that we have put together. And indeed, my sincere and hearty congratulations to all the winners tonight. While I talk about what is it that we need to keep in mind when we tread on this road of challenges as leaders, some important data points which I thought I'd share with you is if you go through the last 10 years and figure out organizations who have succeeded in business, and success in business has been a function of good market share, good profits, good revenue growth, you would find that each of these organizations had extremely strong technology officers or information officers behind the success. Each of these organizations have leveraged the power of technology have leveraged new business models and new ways of doing businesses, which have been very effectively supported by the technology officers. So all of you have an extremely important role and responsibility as you move on from here to get on to the next role, which is the very obvious role of leading change in your organization. Many of my colleagues earlier who talked about leadership have covered most of this. But what, according to me, is most important in what you need to imbibe as a professional quality, which is also a very key personal quality, is to be fearless. You all will have to be very fearless when you move on from here and get back to your job, to first challenge what is already happening in your organization. Never fall short or feel shy or feel nervous of challenging what your predecessors did. Because I used to once upon a time work in IBM, and there was this saying which says that if you choose IBM, you never get fired. But what is important is do not be nervous to challenge what was done earlier by your predecessor. Some of the other important aspects one needs to keep in mind in this fast-changing world of technology is be extremely innovative, stay in touch with the latest in terms of technology, in terms of new business models which are emerging, and play a very active role in networking with your peers. I think what has personally helped me in my last 30 years in the industry is not purely my personal caliber or my personal achievements, but what has actually helped me is networking with folks like you, from whom I've learned a lot and who have actually contributed not only to our organization's growth and success, but also to my personal success. As an organization, Control S, like many of you here, is very young. It's just about 5 years old. When we started way back in 2008, and today if you look at this organization, one of the reasons we have been able to grow very rapidly at about 70 to 80% year on year, have more than 2,000 customers acquired working with us, has been for that very singular quality of being bold and fearless, which our promoter, Mr. Sridhar Reddy, has always demonstrated. I would encourage each one of you to use this opportunity to network, meet people, understand what they've been doing in their organizations, and take the best opportunity that you come across as you go back to work. Last but not the least, each one of you sitting here, I'm confident, will play a very important role in your organization's success tomorrow. And I feel extremely confident that all of your organizations are in the best of hands going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Krishnan. May I request you to stay on and present the awards to the next batch of winners. And I would like to invite on stage Mr. Raghavendra Kaushal. So Raghavendra Kaushal. Mr. Samir Khare. stage, Mr. A.R. Satish. A.R. Satish. I would now like to call on stage Mr. Hemant Kulkarni. Hemant Kulkarni. Please welcome Mr. Santosh Kumar. Santosh Kumar. I would now like to call on stage Mr. Rajendra Kumar. Rajendra Kumar. Please welcome on stage Mr. Apurva Kumar. For the final person in this batch, Mr. Lalit Kumar. Mr. Lalit Kumar. And next on the ordinance is yeah, please stand. Okay. So how many people are bored already? Not a single hand. Oh, one. Okay. 2, 3. Okay. Lots of people. Okay. Let's do something to relieve you of this boredom. So what are we going to do? We're going to have a performance. We're going to have a performance by Mr. Farid Hassan. For people who I would like to introduce as the singing superstar of 2010, Saregama. He's here and he will be rendering some Sufi ghazals, and he has both very recently sung for an upcoming Bollywood movie called Doza. So please welcome on stage Mr. Farid Hassan.
यावं लागणार वाटतं. काय ठीक आहे, बाकी जरा कॅमेरा ठेवतो नंतर देतो. नाही, एक मिनिट अशी बोलून घेतो. मारून घेऊ आता ही रेशो चेंज केला ना आम्ही त्याच्यामध्येच करतो ना. नाही हां एक स्टेप खालती होते माझी. ॲव्हरेज जास्त वाटतंय.
सूफी कलाम पेश कर रहे हैं वो उस खुदा की शान में है। मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप सब इसको बहुत एंजॉय करेंगे। मालिकुल मुल्क ला शरीका लहू वहदहू ला इलाहा इल्ला हू। तेरा वस्फ पाक तेरी सना तेरी शान जल्ला जलालहू। तेरा वस्फ पाक तेरी सना तेरी शान जल्ला ना हुई किसी से कभी अदा तेरी शान जल्ला जलालहू। अल्लाहू 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 इब्ने हैदर ने जामे फना खाल खिंचवाई तबरेज़ ने क्यों भला तार पर चढ़ के मंसूर ने क्या कहा तार पर चढ़ के मंसूर ने क्या कहा सब बना के खिलौने सब बना के खिलौने रहा दूर खाली के गुल है तू इसमें क्या गुफ्तगू सारे आलम को है तेरी ही जुस्तजू आ मेरे दिल को बरसों से एक जुस्तजू मेरा दिल मुझसे करता था एक गुफ्तगू कौन हूँ मैं खुदा मेरे है कौन तू मुझको आने लगी ये सदा बू सारे आलम को है तेरी ही जुस्तजू सारे आलम को है तेरी ही जुस्तजू खाली के गुल है तू इसमें क्या गुफ्तगू सारे आलम को है तेरी ही जुस्तजू तेरी जलवा गरी है बयां इरादे रोज बनते हैं मगर फिर टूट जाते हैं। वही अजमेर जाते हैं जिन्हें ख्वाजा बुलाते हैं। जिसे चाहा दर पे बुला लिया, जिसे चाहा अपना बना लिया। ये बड़े करम के हैं फैसले, ये बड़े नसीब की बात है।
हा लावतो ना
ख्वाजा जी ख्वाजा मैंने गाया था फिल्म आई डोंट लव यू के लिए, वो गा रहा हूँ। और उसी के साथ आज की महफिल की म्यूजिकल शब्दों को इख्तिताम देंगे। खुसरो रैन सुहाग की सो जागी पी के संग, खुसरो खुसरो बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। आप जैसे सुनकार मिल जाए तो गाने में मज़ा आता है और ज़्यादा।
ऑडिओ पण घेतो.
What a wonderful scintillating performance by Mr. Fareed Hassan and his group. So please, another round of applause for them. Very wonderful, and I think you all enjoyed it. We look forward to listening to you once again sometime in the future. Thank you so much for being here this evening. You have really made our day. Thank you. Request everybody to be a bit patient for 5 minutes. We will be happy to move all the instruments and we start the program. So please bear with us for about 5 minutes. Ms. Reena Sharma and Mr. Preetam Loya from NCA. Maybe I have some applause from you. Next leader on the stage is Mr. Jagdeep Kumar. Mr. Jagdeep Kumar. Please welcome on stage Mr. Suresh Kumar. Mr. Suresh Kumar. Yeah, so now everybody is waiting for energy. You have more such music performances. Please welcome on stage Mr. Anil Malhotra. Mr. Anil Malhotra. I request you all to welcome our next winner, Mr. Anant Rao Mangalagiri. Mr. Anant Rao Mangalagiri. IT Infrastructure Management Award, which has been sponsored by FCL, and this award goes to Mr. Atul Vish. Mr. Atul Vish I would like to invite on stage Mr. J.N. Malaria from T Connectivity to present the next batch of awards. Please welcome on stage Mr. J.N. Malaria of T Connectivity. And I would like to call on the stage Mr. M.T. Jagdish Kumar. Mr. M.T. Jagdish Kumar. Our next winner is Mr. Niaz Mohammed Riaz. Mr. Niaz Mohammed Riaz. Please welcome on stage our next winner, Mr. Rajiv Nandwani. Mr. Rajiv Nandwani. Our next winner is Mr. Udaya Nedumchayan. Mr. Udaya Nedumchayan. I would now like to call on stage Mr. Saurabh Nigam. Mr. Saurabh Nigam. Our next winner in this batch is Mr. Pankaj Patel. Mr. Pankaj Patel. Please welcome on stage Mr. Pragnesh Patel. Mr. Pragnesh Patel. And the final winner in this batch is Mr. Gaurav Patel. Mr. Gaurav Patel. Broadband Network Technologies Award, which is sponsored by Team Connectivity, and this award goes to Mr. Jay Singh Verma. Mr. Jay Singh Verma.
बोला ना लैंग्वेज समझ लो ना किसमें बोला
So like to announce our next batch, the next batch, the next 100 winners, starting with Mr. Rashmikant Fadnis. Rashmikant Fadnis. The final winner in this batch, Mr. Swaroop Roy. Please welcome Mr. Swaroop Roy. Yeah, please stand up. We also have a special Enterprise Security Award that has been sponsored by Kaspersky, and this award goes to Mr. Vinay Mandrekar. Mr. Vinay Mandrekar. Thank you, Mr. Arun. I would now like to invite on stage Dr. Rajkumar Sharma of Arctic. Dr. Rajkumar Sharma of Arctic. So please welcome winners from our batch 10, starting with Mr. Deepak Sachdeva. The next winner is Mr. Sahil Sagar. Mr. Sahil Sagar. I'd now like to introduce to you Mr. Ajit Saxena. Mr. Ajit Saxena. Please welcome on stage Mr. Rajesh Sehgal. Mr. Rajesh Sehgal. introduce on stage Mr. Devang Shah. Mr. Devang Shah. Our next winner is Mr. Sushil Sharma. Please welcome on stage Mr. Sudhir Sharma. Mr. Sudhir Sharma. And our final winner in this match is Mr. Parag Shimpi. Mr. Parag Shimpi. Thank you. May I request all the coordinators to please come. May I request Dr. Rajkumar Sharma to stay on. And what we are going to do next is very exciting. And you know, as a part of the Next 100 program, we produce a book which contains the profiles of all these Next 100 winners. These nice pictures you've been seeing on the screen till now of all the winners are part of that book. And this book contains the details, professional information about all these people. And we send this book out to all the top CIOs in India. They all get a copy of this book so that they know who the next 100 winners for the year are. Architect has been our book partner right since inception. This is the 4th year they've been our book partner. And I would like to invite Dr. Rajkumar Sharma to please launch the book today and let Vikas Gupta to please join on the stage and convey the book. Request Dr. Sharma to say a few words before you leave.
Well, what an exciting evening it is. It's my pleasure to be here, and I would like to congratulate all the winners. It's really a great day for all of you, and may all of you prosper and set examples in life in times to come. I would also like to thank 9.9 Media for giving us and selecting us and being a partner, and we really feel proud to be a partner to 9.9 ever since this award was started. And it's a great honor to be here. So I've heard a lot of speakers and a lot of words, coming in, and actually I did prepare a script, to speak, but finally I thought, it doesn't make any sense. I'm going to speak out something, taking those strings which I have heard so far. Some words have come in like, creative value, passion, CEO. What is a CEO? I question myself, what is a CEO? Is it a title? If you write CEO below your name, do you become CEO? I don't think so. In true sense, I believe each one of us is a CEO. We are the owners, and we are the people who lead and make our lives, make our careers. I think it is a behavior, which people have to perform, people have to demonstrate. And once that behavior comes in, I am the CEO of my role in the organization. And so each one of you. If we restrain ourselves, from 9 to 5 kind of responsibilities and work within those barriers that I am supposed to perform and work 9 to 5, and this is my role. Nothing beyond that. You tend to get inside that and never come out of it. The moment you assume yourself that yes, I am the CEO of what I am doing, and align the thought process, the focus the organization has, and start creating value not only for ourselves but for the society, for the organization, I think each one of us reaches that level where the title is also CEO. Okay. I think we all need think beyond what we can do, beyond our capabilities, beyond our role. Challenge yourself to do something new, something big, something where you can set examples for others to follow. Then you become a leader. Leadership doesn't come by assuming something. Leadership comes by demonstrating something. And this is a behavior. I don't think this can be taught. It's there inside all of us. In our private lives, we are all CEOs. We do our best, we create value for ourselves, for our families. But do we do that where we work in the organization? Do we do that for creating value for the society? That's the limitation in which we are living. Go beyond boundaries. It's not my role, it is not my region, it is not my territory, this is not what I'm supposed to do. I think when we start thinking beyond those boundaries is when those and the leaders will set example. And there are many challenges which come through. On assuming this, there are a lot of challenges which one has to face. You have to see the ups and downs of not only yourself, your colleagues, your family members, the society in general, your customers, and you have to live by that. You have to sustain that and still set examples for others to follow. I think these are the words which I just wanted to say. And thank you all so much. It's a pleasure to be here. And congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma, for those very kind words. And now for a really interesting part of this awards program. As we've said before, the next 100 awards program draws on the expertise, contributions, and support of both the India's CIO and CFO community. This year, 51 senior executives from India's leading companies contributed a lot of time in validating the next 100 process, determining the selection criteria, and interviewing all the aspirants. ITNX is very grateful to their selfless service and dedication of all these senior executives, and many of whom are with us today in this room. We would like to thank them for promoting the cause of next 100. I would like to invite on stage Mr. Vikas Gupta, publisher, ITNX magazine, to present a token of appreciation to the next 100 awards jury members. Please welcome on stage Mr. Vikas Gupta. I would like to now invite on stage our jury members, starting with Mr. Sudesh Agarwal. Mr. Sudesh Agarwal. I'd now like to call Mr. Tamal Chakravarti. Mr. Tamal Chakravarti. I'm very pleased to invite on stage Mr. P.G. Dandaman. P.G. Dandaman. Please welcome on stage Mr. Nandkishore Pune. Nandkishore Pune. I'd like to invite next our veteran CIO, Dr. Prashant Datta on stage. Please welcome on stage Mr. Rajesh Garg. Mr. Rajesh Garg. Now I'd like to next invite on stage Mr. Manmohan Goyal. Mr. Manmohan Goyal. I'd now like to introduce to you Mr. Vishnu Gupta. Mr. Vishnu Gupta. Next on our list is Mr. Kinshuk Gora. Please come and say Mr. Kinshuk Gora.
I have a small story. I have to share it with you. So, this is a small story to explain to you how seriously the jury takes this entire process in the awards time. Kinshuk had left his home. He lives in Vikaspuri, which for people who don't live in Delhi is a good 30 plus kilometers away from the airport. When he was about to reach the airport, he realized he had not carried his jacket, and he was very conscious that he was going to wear a jacket to this evening. So he called his wife. His wife drove halfway through the city. He drove halfway back. They met a center point. He took the jacket and then went back to the airport to catch a flight. That just shows to you how seriously the jury takes this whole process.
So thank you, Kinshuk, for this extra dedication. And I'd like to now invite on stage Mr. Mukul Jain. Mr. Mukul Jain, please come. next batch of winners. So our batch 11 winners, I would like to start by introducing Mr. Vipin Chotria. Mr. Vipin Chotria. Please welcome on stage Mr. Ashish Srivastava. Ashish Srivastava. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Dinesh Singh. Please welcome Mr. Dinesh Singh. Our next winner is Mr. Abhishek Singh. Please welcome Mr. Abhishek Singh. Our next winner on the next round is Mr. Udayveer Singh. Udayveer Singh. And now call on stage Mr. Vinod Singh. Please welcome Mr. Vinod Singh. Our next winner in this batch is Mr. Sanjay Singh. Mr. Sanjay Singh. And our final winner in batch 11 is Mr. S.K. Vishwas. Mr. S.K. Vishwas. Thank you, Vikas. I did say we have lots of jury members, right? So there's still many more whom we have not recognized publicly. And I would like to invite on stage Ms. Geeta Nandikottu, editor of IT Next magazine, to present token of appreciation to the next 100 jury members. Please welcome on stage Geeta Nandikottu. I'd like to invite our jury member, Mr. Anil Kaushik, on the stage, please. Mr. Anil Kaushik. Yagnesh Parekh. Mr. Yagnesh Parekh. CIO and again another IT industry veteran, Mr. Mukund Prasad. Mr. Mukund Prasad. Jaswinder Vin. Mr. Jaswinder Vin. I'd like to invite our next winner on stage, Mr. Shashi Bhushan Vyas. Mr. Shashi Bhushan Vyas. And last but certainly not the least, our 100 next 100 winner, Mr. Arvind Yadav. Please welcome Mr. Arvind Yadav. Please have a good photograph and let's follow the Thank you and congratulations to all winners. I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Krishna Kumar, COO 9.9 Media, to deliver the vote of thanks and to felicitate our sponsors. Please welcome on stage Mr. K. Krishna Kumar. You're all hungry, right? So, how long can I speak? Half an hour? I heard 1 hour, right? Okay, 1 hour. Okay. So, when you hear the word sponsor, what do you think of? A message from sponsor, right? So, before I start, here's a message from our sponsors. Jay?
To all IT Next 100 winners. The award from Business Services is proud to be associated with it.
On behalf of Juniper Networks, I wish all the next 100 award winners every success. You are the future leaders of IT in India.
Congratulations to the winners of Next 100 Awards. We at Emerson Network Power are proud to be associated with IT Next in identifying future CIOs.
I, on behalf of the entire Nexen team, congratulate the next 100 winners, the future IT leaders of India.
Congratulations to the winners of the Next 100 Awards. You guys are very proud to be associated with IT Next and India's future Chief Innovation Officers.
I would like to congratulate the winners of Next 100 Awards. I wish you all the very best. You are the leaders of future IT in India. Keep them.
On behalf of HCL, I wish to congratulate all the winners of Next 100 Awards, wishing you the very best as the future leaders of Indian IT.
The team connectivity is proud to associate with IT Next to identify future CIOs. I wish Next 100 participants all the best.
Congratulations to all the winners of IT Next 100. We at Arvind are proud to be associated with IT Next in identifying India's future CIOs.
That was 3 minutes. I still have about 47 minutes left. So, I would like to use 46 minutes to thank the sponsors, without whom this event would not have happened, without whom we wouldn't have been here. So, I would like to request one representative from each of the sponsor organizations to come to stage. Really? May I request a representative from Vodafone to please come on stage. A representative from Vodafone. Juniper. May I request somebody from Wipro, a representative from Wipro to please come on stage and accept the award. Okay. May I request a representative from Emerson and Next Gen to please come on stage and accept the award. May I request a representative from HCL to please come on stage and accept the award. May I request a representative from Team Connectivity to please come on the stage and accept Team Connectivity. May I request a representative from VMware to please come on the stage and accept the award. May I request a representative from Arkaden to please come on the stage and accept the award. Arkaden. May I request someone from Kaspersky to please come on the stage and accept the award. Kaspersky. May I request someone from Control S to please come on the stage and accept the award. Control S. Come on, give a big please to Control S. May I request a representative from Seclo to please come on the stage and accept the award. Seclo. May I request a representative from Symphony Summit to please come on the stage and accept the award. Symphony Summit, is someone representative? No?
That leaves me 2 minutes, right? In 2 minutes, I have 3 different groups of people I need to thank. Julie has already thanked, I don't want to do that. Okay, thank you, Julie, once again. That is 3 more to go. screen that we have here, right? So this screen is an LED screen. It's 54 feet long, and it takes up as much power as a medium-sized data center. Now setting up this screen and doing all the fancy work here is Sujit Kavda and team. Sujit, please thank you. Two more rooms for me to thank out of 3. Number 2 with that is a team from 9.9 Media who worked hard to all this. To my team, thank you. That leaves me with 100 winners. I'm not going to thank you. I'm going to ask you to do something for me. Will you do it? Yes. Because if you don't, I will not wait for lunch, for dinner. Will you do it? Yes. Okay. The keynote speaker asked you to find a mentor. I am asking you to go and find someone to mentor. I want each one of you to say, to promise here, that you will go back to your organizations and find somebody to mentor and make them as good or better than you are. Do you promise that? Yes. Not loud enough? Yes. Once more? Yes. Thank you. With that, ladies and gentlemen, a very important announcement. The buses leave at 8:30 in the morning tomorrow. If you miss the bus, you miss your flight. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for dinner and the bar is open. Thank you.